If you're struggling to get views on TikTok, you might feel like the algorithm actually hates you. And I get it because I felt the same way when I was starting out. But over time, through experimentation and failure, I realized that I wasn't actually stuck in 200 view jail. There were just some fundamental things about the TikTok algorithm that I didn't understand yet that were preventing me from getting the views and the growth that I wanted. So today, I'm going to explain how the TikTok algorithm actually works. That way you can start to get more views and followers on your account. But first, what is the biggest question that you have about the TikTok algorithm? Let me know in the comments. I personally respond to every single comment on my channel, but I can't help you if you don't ask. Today's video is going to be broken down into 3 parts. The first one are the key components of the TikTok algorithm. Then I'm going to share some practical steps so you can improve your videos and increase your views. Finally, I'm going to go into the common questions and myths about the TikTok algorithm that are holding you back from getting the views that you want. The first thing that you need to know about the TikTok algorithm is that it is actually trying to show your video to the people that are most likely to watch it. It is on your side. It is working for you. It does this through machine learning that actually analyzes the behavior and the interests of the people watching the videos. That way your video can be shown to people that have watched similar videos. But don't just take my word for it. Here's what TikTok CEO had to say about how the recommendation algorithm works on TikTok.
The recommendation algorithm is really just math. So for example, if you liked videos 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I like videos 1, 2, 3, and 5, maybe he liked videos 1, 2, 3, and 6, then what's going to happen is, because we like 1, 2, 3 at the same time, he's going to be shown 4, 5, 6, and so are we. And you can think about this repeated at scale in real time across more than 1 billion people.
Now, what Mr. Chu just said is really important because of the second thing you need to understand about the algorithm, which is that videos that get the most watch time get the most views. And if the algorithm doesn't know who to show your videos to, it's going to show them to the wrong people that aren't going to be interested in your videos, and then you're not going to get the watch time. But if your videos aren't engaging, educational, or entertaining, then people aren't going to watch them the whole way through, and you're not going to get any views either. So low views on TikTok indicates that you have one of 2 problems. Either your videos aren't good at keeping people's attention, which means you don't get a high average watch time, or your videos aren't being shown to the right people, and so therefore they're dropping off early and they're not watching because they're not interested. Both of these things are fixable, and I'm going to share some practical strategies that you can use here in a minute in order to increase your views and watch time. But first, there's one more thing that you need to know about the algorithm, and that's how TikTok uses sample audiences and checkpoints in order to figure out if your videos deserve more views. Have you ever noticed that you post a video and it starts to get views and then it suddenly stops? This is the sample audience checkpoint system that I'm talking about. What happens is that every single person on TikTok is going to get 200 to 300 views as a baseline for the algorithm to analyze the video to see, are we getting watch time? Are we getting engagement? Is this a video that people actually like that we should push to more people on the platform? This is one of the cool features about TikTok because it's truly a meritocracy. It's not about how big of a following you already have. It's just about, is the video good and do people want to watch it? And that means small creators, even brand new creators with 0 followers, can go viral and get massive views and growth. But that also leads to the most frustrating thing on TikTok, which is the 200 view jail, which is where you get 200 views and then your video gets no more views after that. And it can really make you feel like, man, the algorithm hates me and I'm never going to be able to get results. But what it really means is that you just didn't get the watch time. Your video didn't do a good enough job of stopping people from swiping in the For You page and actually watching your video through to the end. Now, if you're getting 0 views on your videos, that's a different story and we'll talk about it later. But if you're getting 200 views, this is why. And honestly, if you see the same behavior at 500 views, 1,000 views, that also has to do with the sample audience and checkpoint system. Let's say that you get good enough metrics at 200 views. TikTok is now going to push your video and it's going to have the chances to go viral. But what's going to happen is they are going to reanalyze your video at 500 views, 1,000 views, 10,000 views, 50,000 views, 100,000 views, 1,000,000 views, and on and on and on. And what they're trying to figure out is this video still hitting the key metrics? Is it still performing well enough that we want to push it to more people so that way they will enjoy the videos that are being served to them and they will keep watching and they will stay on the platform, which is TikTok's #1 goal. So if you see your video take off for 30 minutes and it just comes to a screeching halt at 8,000 views, that's totally normal. It just meant they pushed the video as far as they could for as long as your video was hitting the key metrics, indicating that it's a good video. And this is going to be really helpful later on because now that you know that the views that you're getting are not random and they're not luck, you're actually able to use the amount of views on your videos and other people's videos in order to make better content that's more likely to go viral and grow your account like crazy. So let's pivot now and talk about the ways that you can actually increase your views on TikTok. And I'm going to take this in order of those 3 components, the algorithm that I just discussed. And once we wrap all this up, I'll get into those common questions and myths that might be holding you back from getting the views. So the first thing that you have to consider if you want to increase your views on TikTok is, how do we get the algorithm to show our videos to the right people? Because you might actually have incredible content on your platform, but for a variety of reasons, TikTok doesn't know who to show it to. And since it's not being shown to the right people that would love to binge that content, you're just getting a lot of swipe aways and people bailing on the video a few seconds in. So the first thing you need to do is get really clear on who your videos are for and what it is that they want to watch. Because how can you expect the algorithm to understand who your videos need to be shown to if you don't even know who your videos are for? And this seems really simple, but this is where most people mess things up, because they aren't creating content for a single individual or a single type of person on the other end of the screen. Instead, they're just talking about whatever the heck it is that they want to talk about on that day. They might be creating content on multiple different topics or for multiple different types of people, and you need to get real clear on who your content's about and stick with it. That way the algorithm knows who to show your content to. And then you want to leverage all the tools on the TikTok platform to send signals to the algorithm about what your content is about and who it's for, so that way they can kind of categorize you and figure it out sooner. So here are a couple of signals that you can use in order to help the algorithm categorize you. The first one I've already been talking about, and that's just you need to be consistent with your topic. Next, take advantage of hashtags and using keywords in the descriptions for your videos to kind of indicate what is this video about and who does it need to be shown to. You get a lot of characters on your videos, so take advantage of them. Next, and most importantly, are the words that you're saying in your videos, because the little matrix robots, they're in there like crawling through all of your text and pulling it out, and they're able to figure out what you are saying and what it is about, and that's going to help them figure out who to show your content to. And that's also like how you're able to use auto captions, which are another great tool to kind of signal this is what it's about. But beyond the words that you say, there's the text that you put up on the screen. When you're talking in your videos, you should also be doing text, both like a headline at the very beginning of the videos, but then throughout the videos, you can add text on the screen that kind of summarizes a particular point. Not only is this text going to improve the engagement and retention on your videos, but it's just providing another way to signal to the algorithm like what the video is about. Okay, number 2, how do we increase watch time? There's actually a few really simple things that you can focus on that are going to increase the amount of time that people watch your videos and therefore increase your views. And the first one is to just create shorter videos. When we talk about improving watch time, we're really talking about your average watch time. So what is the percentage that people watch your video? Now, for most videos on the TikTok platform that go viral, you're actually going to see close to 100% watch time on the video, if not more than 100% watch time. And obviously, the shorter the video is going to be, the higher percentage of the watch time needs to be. But since the baseline is so close to 100% anyway, you're actually going to have a better chance of getting views and going viral if you just create shorter videos so people don't have to stick around as long. The next thing you need to do is just get people to stop scrolling on the For You page when they see your video. This is where most creators end up like losing before they even begin, because nobody even watches the video. So maybe your content is really good, but if you're not making them stop and they're just swiping past you and going to other videos, not only is it going to kill your watch time, but it's sending a signal to the algorithm that your video doesn't need to be shown to more people. So the most important thing that you can focus on after just coming up with a great idea for your video is the first 3 seconds and getting people to stop scrolling. And we're going to do that with our hook. But when I talk about your hook, I'm not just talking about the verbal hook that most people think about. I also want you to think about the text on the screen and a visual hook, which just means how can I create something in the background or movement in the camera that's going to get people's attention? But the text-based hook, or like the headline that you can put on a video, is the thing that's probably going to have the best chance of getting people to stop scrolling. You want to use curiosity to engage people. You want to talk about their problems. You want to call them out or answer questions. Just something to get them go, oh, I need to give this video a chance and watch at least a little bit of it because I think it's for me. Now, if you're watching this content and you're like, hey, I'm a gamer or I'm a musician or, I'm not an educational creator, this doesn't apply to me, it actually still does. You still need some sort of hook to get people's attention, and you can use text on screen or verbal hooks to grab people and get them to watch more of your content. And so the first step is just winning that first 3 seconds and winning the battle of them not swiping past your video. After that, you have to improve retention. And all that means is you need to learn how to make people watch more of your video. Watch as much as your video as possible, stay to the end, or watch it multiple times. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to just cut the fluff, be more concise, get to the point, don't have the long intros at the beginning of your videos. You want to keep the action going, move from point to point as quickly as you can, that way people's goldfish brains don't get distracted and move on to something else. Another way that you can do that is through edits and visuals. I'm not big at editing on my TikToks, I don't think you need to be, but I do try to change position in my videos and use jump cuts in order to keep people's attention. But I repeat, you do not need fancy editing and B-roll and stuff like that to be successful on TikTok. Another great way to hold people's attention is to use lists. People love lists. If you're telling them that I'm going to share 10 things to help you do XYZ, they're going to stick around to the end. You also want to work on the flow of your content. One of the things that I always try to do is use the but, therefore storytelling method that was made famous by the creators of South Park. And if you're not familiar with this, you can totally go Google it on YouTube. Just do it after this video.
Respect my authority. Oh!
But the idea is that you need to provide a transition in between every single point on your video to keep people's attention. And if your story is just, or your video is just saying, first we did this, and then we did this, and then we did this, and then we did this, it's boring. So if in your stories you use but, therefore, instead of just progressing from one thing to the next, it's going to be more interesting and keep people engaged. So let me give you an example. All of these retention hacks are great, but you're never going to get more watch time if you're not sure what your viewers are interested in watching. Therefore, you have to learn how to do content research, which leads me to my third point. How do we learn from our past content in order to break out of 200 view jail? Notice how I use the but therefore method? Now, I mentioned earlier that the only thing more important than the first 3 seconds of your video is having a great idea. And a lot of times when you're stuck at 200 views, it's because you don't have great ideas. And so we need to learn how to do content research to make sure that we're using proven ideas, proven topics, proven formats, so our videos have the best chance possible of taking off and getting views. So the first thing you need to do is study other creators in your niche. You need to look at their outlier videos, which just means what are the videos that they're creating that are getting way more views than they normally get. That's a good indicator, especially if it was a recently created video, that if you teach something or create a video on a similar topic or a similar format, that you have a good chance of getting a lot of views too. Because after they've pushed that video to as many people as they can, they are going to find other videos that are similar and push those videos to the same people. And you want to ride that wave. You also need to be studying your successful videos. So many people get wrapped up in the fact that their video got 200 views instead of focusing on the videos that got 1,000 views or 10,000 views. You're only going to learn from your successful videos. So study them, reuse those topics, reuse those hooks, keep making content like that because your audience likes it. Finally, you need to study the comments in your videos. When you create content, people are actually going to tell you what they want to see more content about. They are going to ask questions in the comments. They are going to share the problems and obstacles that they are running into. They are going to let you know that what you said is different than what some guru said, and they want clarification. All of these things make great content ideas. In addition to studying those comments, you should be engaging with those people. Answer their questions, respond to their comments, ask them follow-up questions. You want to be talking to them. That's how you build a following. When you engage with somebody personally, you create loyalty, and you're going to start creating a community, and those people will even start talking to each other. And when you build community and you have that personal connection with people, they are going to watch every single video that you put out, and that's going to mean more watch time. They're also going to go to your profile to see the videos that they haven't seen yet, and they are going to binge them, and that's going to help everything that you do perform better. But building this community isn't the only way that you're increasing the watch time. Every single time somebody comments on one of your videos, the video keeps playing. Every time you ask somebody a follow-up question and they come back and reply to your comment, the video keeps playing. So you are going to get more and more watch time, improving your video performance. So now you know how the algorithm works. You know some practical steps that you can take in order to increase your views. But there are a lot of questions that I keep seeing coming up in my comments and these kind of myths that are out there that I want to debunk for you. All right, first one, you do not need to post and ghost, which is the idea that you publish your video and then you shut the app down and you walk away, and that's somehow going to magically get you more views. The idea that these creators are pushing in order to get clicks and views is that the algorithm wants you to come back to the platform. And so if you are not on the platform, they're going to push your video to get more views and comments, and they're going to start sending you notifications to get you to come back so you'll focus on TikTok instead of watching on YouTube or being on Instagram or whatever else. But the reality is that's not how the algorithm works. The TikTok CEO, as I showed you earlier, explained it, and if you watch the entire video, he talks about it's all about creating engagement and joy for their viewers. And so what's determining the views is whether they they like the video and the video keeps them on the platform, not that they're going to push your stuff to try to keep you on the platform. Next, posting times don't matter. Just post the video whenever you have it ready. You're going to get that sample size of views, and if it performs well and it gets the watch time and people aren't swiping away, then it's going to get pushed and it's going to go through those checkpoints, and you'll have a chance to go viral whether you're posting at 2 in the morning or at 7 in the evening. There's also a lot of TikTok gurus that will say that you need to post 3 to 5 times per day in order to grow, and that is not the case at all. I went from 0 to 10,000 followers on my TikTok only posting 1 time per day, and I did it in like 6 weeks. And the reality is it's better to create good content than to just create more content. I think that you should be creating as much content, as much quantity as possible, as long as it's good content. And as long as it doesn't take you away from doing the research to figure out what you should be posting about in order to get more views. As a sidebar, I think a more important message in the post 3 to 5 times per day is that you need to hustle and you need to put the work in and the time in if you want to grow and not just be lazy and think you're going to magically go viral and everything is going to happen for you. Another big one that I'm seeing in my comments a ton lately is that short content is dead, trending content is dead, and the algorithm is favoring 1 minute or longer video. And this is not true. What's happening is people are misconstruing TikTok's documentation around creativity program beta, which is how they are paying creators for the views on their content. Now, inside of that program, your video does not qualify to be monetized unless it's over 1 minute or longer. But that does not mean they're only pushing 1 minute video. Yes, the platform is moving more toward longer content. You're seeing way more longer content be successful than you saw a year ago, but the shorter content and the trending content is still like a core part of the culture of TikTok, and it still works really well. Another big myth on the platform is that you can't have multiple accounts on one phone and that's going to somehow like kill your views. And this is not true. I have so many accounts on my one phone because I have these burner accounts. I have accounts on different topics that I post on, and I have some that are just for research to help out my clients. And it has zero impact on views. Where you start to have trouble with multiple accounts is if you're posting the same content from one account to your other accounts in order to get more views or whatever. That is going to make you look so spammy and it's going to get you banned. Now, a big question that I've been getting a lot lately is like,
hey, I started an account. I was getting, all these views at first. I was getting 600, 800, 1,000, 900, and now all of my views are at 200 to 300 views. Like, what happened?
And I can tell from this pattern that like people are worried that, hey,
they were pushing me to try and get me hooked on the app, and now they're not giving me the views. The algorithm hates me.
But that's not actually what happened. You just need to take everything that you've learned so far in this video and you need to go back and study those early videos, because what likely happened is you just used your best ideas and you put the most time and thought into that initial content and it performed really well. And then your quality dropped, your retention dropped. People were swiping past your videos, the ideas weren't as good. So study those videos that were working and post more like that. Let the good videos kind of determine what the new content is going to be about, and you'll see those views start to pick up again. Next thing I want to talk about is when people watch my videos and then comment like, well, this is all well and good, but I'm shadow banned and that's not going to work for me. No, you're not. The whole idea of being shadow banned is like a guru TikTok influencer idea that they've used to get views and clicks, or people have used to justify them not getting the views. The reality is you're either banned for policy violations or your content is not good enough to get the views. The problem is that TikTok is not going to kick you off the platform if you violate their policy. They're just going to make your videos ineligible for the For You page. So your followers will see them and you're going to get very low views, but you're still able to watch content on the platform. And this is very different than Instagram, Facebook, or a lot of the other programs where if you get banned, they shut your account down and they completely kick you off. On TikTok, you're only going to see that if you're doing something really bad. So how do you know what the problem is and what you need to do? First off, if you have 0 views on your account, there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a glitch and it's going to figure itself out. Or number 2, you've violated policy. And the way that you figure this out is you go into the video and you click on the analytics at the bottom, the see more info. And then at the top, it's going to say ineligible. It's so hard to say. Ineligible for the For You feed. That means you violated some sort of policy and you just need to make sure you don't do that again. It's not going to kill your views for your future videos unless you keep doing it repeatedly. Now, you can check this if you're stuck at 200 views as well. But if you're stuck at 200 views, it's a very different story. It just means that your videos right now are not competitive with all of the other videos that are out in the marketplace that other people are seeing. And so you need to improve those videos. And now that you actually understand how the algorithm works, there's a lot of tactical things that you can do in order to increase your watch time and get more views on your videos. So the next thing I want you to do is watch this video where I share 28 TikTok hacks that feel illegal to know because they work so dang well. If you start implementing these strategies to improve each of your videos by just 1%, you're gonna see your views and your followers skyrocket.